Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to discuss about the cascade interconnection. Already in the previous video the series interconnection is discussed. Now we are going to discuss about the parallel interconnection. Here the resultant matrix is a product of ABCD matrix, and how it happens let us try to see here. So I am going to select two matrices, two-port network with the matrices name X and Y. So I am going to select a matrix, a two-port network matrices, and I am labeling this first two-port as X and another two-port as Y. So the terminals, so these are the two terminals I am having. And we are going to select another matrix, another two-port Y. So this is nothing but a two-port network with these two terminals. So these are the two terminals we have. Now the output of one two-port network we are connecting to the input. The output is connected to another two-port network Y. So here I am assuming the applied voltage is V1, a current of I1 flows here, and the current into this is I1X. And actually the current will flow like this, which is we assumed previously as I2, and here the current will be in this direction, which is minus I2, and the current, so these all are with suffixes. The current into this branch is nothing but in this direction, which is I1Y. So the current in this direction is nothing but minus I2Y. So the voltage here is V2Y, the voltage here is V1X. And here we are going to see the relations. The voltage at this point is V1X, the voltage at this point is V2X, the voltage at this point is V1Y, the voltage at this point is V2Y. Now we are going to assume the parameters, how the voltage transfer, the current transfers. You can see here X and Y are series connected. So how to write down the voltage here is, so here you can write down V1X. So this is nothing but applied voltage. V1X is equal to V1, and I1 is also nothing but I1X. And to this point V2X is equal to V1Y, and minus I2X is equal to I1Y at this point. At this point, so this is V2Y, and resultantly also the V2X is, I can write down V2 is equal to V2Y, and the current here we are going to have I2, so the resultant current also will flows in this direction only. This is nothing but minus I2. So I2 is equal to I2Y. So now here let's try to use this and write down in our required format. So here let's try to write down the equations. So this is I am here in this cascade interconnection. ABCD plays a major role, so I am writing ABCD. How to write down ABCDs? We have V1 I1 as well as V2 I2. So as per this network I am going to draw the matrix form as, so V1 I1. So I am going to write down V1 I1 is equal to A, B, C, D into V2 minus I2. So this we are writing with respect to X two-port, so that's why I am using X here, and here also AX, BX, CX and DX, V2X and minus I2X. And similarly for this Y matrix I am going to write down V1 I1 of is equal to, I'm going to write down ABCD. This is A, B, C, D multiplied with V2, and this is minus I2, and we are writing with respect to Y2. So I am writing Y V1 by I1 by IY, BY, CY, DY, V1 by and minus I1 by. Okay, so here let us take this expression. So this V1x and I1x, V1x is equal to V1 I can write down, and I1x I can write down it as I1. Therefore V1 I1 is this value, that is equal to, you are going to get AX, BX, CX as well as DX. So V2x I can write down it as, from this expression, as V1y, and I2x I can write down it as I1y. But already we have the values here. What are those values? So I can write down this as V1 I1 is equal to AX, BX, CX, DX of, we are going to get V1 by and I1 by. Just substitute there, then you can get the answer. 1 second. So by substituting the values of V1y and I1y, we are going to get here, the matrix is AY, BY, CY, DY, and what is the value of V2y? V2y I can write down it as V2, and what is the value of I2y? I can write down it as I2. So where V1, I1, V2, I2 are input and output. So in cascade connection, okay, in the cascade connection of ABCD matrix, we are going to get the product of ABCD parameters. So we have been got the product of ABCD parameters. So that's why the cascade connection is performed with the help of ABCD parameters, and we are going to perform the product of ABCD parameters. This is how we get the derivation for cascade connection of an two-port network. Okay. So we will continue the next video with parallel connection. If you feel the content is useful to you, please like, share with your friends, and if you have any doubts, let me know in comment section. And if you are watching the channel for the first time, subscribe to the channel. This is a free channel for the development of students and faculty. Yours obediently, Ram.